Probably already saw the title, but today we are going to be going over each of our top 10 players who need to return who have not returned yet. Think of this as our vision for a second chance.
Yeah.
So I'm no use really delaying. Who wants to go first with their number 10?
I'll start out, I guess.
Okay.
I'll start out, I guess.
Rock, paper,
start.
scissors. We're okay. We're
All
going
right,
on a
so
roll, rock, paper, scissors.
my number 10 pick is at this point sort of a meme, but also slightly true. And that is Anna Kate from Survivor Go Wrong.
I thought
And
you'd be
I chose Anna because I just really liked her. I think she had a lot of potential. I think she showed a good strategic mind. She's great looking, and she was just like in the pre-merge of Go Wrong. She felt like she was really one of the stars of the show, and I had really high expectations for her. And so to see her go as early as she did was a little disappointing for me. And so she's definitely one of the top female contestants I'd want to see return.
Admittedly, even when I was watching Go Wrong, I thought Anna was my favorite of the beauty women, just from a strategic point of view. But then Ty said no simps allowed and took her out.
Yeah.
I
The
don't know.
moment I started disliking Ty.
I'd definitely be down for an Anna return for sure.
The only problem is, like, realistically speaking, that's not going to happen because
Yeah.
I don't know if you checked her Twitter lately, but things are not
She's
looking
changed a
probable. Yeah. But yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, we don't really see that happening. But
Yeah.
who knows?
A lot of my picks are not quite as probable as they are wistful thinking. But
My number 10 is Dan K. You know, we hoping he makes that comeback. Number 9 is BB Anderson. It's rough. This is getting
Okay.
dark already. All right, John, you're up.
All right, so my number 10. So my number 10 came down to two people from the same season that both went pre-merge.
Mhm.
And so this number 10 is a bit of a meme, but also kind of serious, and that's Billy Garcia.
Who
Yep.
could he fall in love with next?
Yep.
I mean, honestly, name a better second boot in the history of Survivor. I'll wait.
Vince Sly.
Vince Sly's pretty good.
I take Billy over Vince Sly, though.
They're
Yeah,
close.
I'd take Billy over Vince
close.
Sly.
The thing
Yeah.
with Billy is I feel like he had so much great content to deliver us, and he got cut so short that I feel like we were robbed of some great entertainment.
Right.
And I feel like we really need him back sometime soon.
I really wonder what would have happened if he would have ended up on the same tribe as Candace. Like,
A battle between him and Adam.
Yeah.
dude, that
But
would
that's
be.
exactly what I'm talking about, man. That would have been such a great storyline.
I mean, if he gets to a tribe swap and he ends up with Candace and Adam and he sees them smooching and he's like, what? Gotta be heartbreaking.
That would be very heartbreaking. I'm almost glad he went out when he did then, because that would have been really tough to watch.
We would have to watch him kick Adam's ass. We all know he could have.
Ultimate revenge storyline.
Yeah, Billy's an interesting pick. I don't know what he's up to, so I don't know about the probability, but
We need a life update on Billy Garcia.
yeah, I think I saw a picture of him somewhat recently with JT and a couple others, but
Oh,
I don't know.
interesting.
All right.
I see JT trying to hang out with superior Survivor players to
Well,
himself.
he's got to learn the ropes again. He's really failing recently. Okay. My number 10 is a little bit predictable, but what are you gonna do? I want to see the return of $600,000 winner Jeff Kent.
That's
Yes,
a good one.
I love Jeff Kent.
I love Jeff Kent, not just because he's funny, but because I think he was not the worst player. I think he was doing pretty all right up until the merge, but Calabao was down in numbers, so that was kind of rough for him. But
He was just fun to watch.
he was fun to watch, and he was pretty smart when it come to making Penner the enemy, but then like kind of sliding in with him and being like, "But we're cool, you know, we're cool. The tribe hates you, but we're cool." Um, and then still plotting
Yeah.
behind his back. Uh,
Yeah.
I think Jeff Kent could be a pretty fun returnee.
Yep.
I agree.
I could see it. I could see it happening too.
Me too.
Like, I feel like that's a potential one.
I mean, he probably has too much money at this point, but I think it'd be fun. Okay. So I will be also speaking for the ghost of Chris. He sent me his list personally, so
Alright.
I'll be reading off his top 10. Uh, his number 10 is Miss Skeletor Banshee Trish Hagarty.
I would really like to hear his reasonings for that.
I would have too. I think if I can get into Chris's head, I think she had a really impactful storyline in that season as
Mhm.
Tony's wingman. And I'd be
Yeah.
interested to see her play again, maybe more aggressive and like not following anybody else's game.
Yeah.
Maybe
I,
she learned from
I,
that mistake.
yeah. I will never disagree with Kagayan returnees, so
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I think Trish is someone who I would like to see return maybe one day, but not like my top tier of returnees, I think. But I don't disagree with that pick.
Well,
Yeah.
to peek behind the curtains a little bit, that was a last minute adjustment because he forgot that Haley Ford has already played twice.
I love Haley.
Yeah.
Haley should come back.
So that was Chris's number 10. Now we move on to number 9.
Back to me.
Yep.
All right. So number 9 for me was probably a less memorable character in a very not memorable season, but I still love him. And my number 9 is Rocky Reed from Survivor Fiji.
Oh god.
Let's go.
I
I I thought Rocky was the star of that pre-merge. He was hilarious. He was like in what is generally not a very entertaining season. I'm not a big Fiji fan. I just don't think the cast was memorable. I didn't think it was fun to watch, other than of course the Edgardo blindside.
right.
But I mean, overall, it was. I think Rocky was a huge part of what made me enjoy some of the aspects of it, and I just think he'd be really fun to see back.
He was very entertaining. Rocky was on my short list for this video.
Yeah.
Rocky
Kyle, what do you think?
Looking back, I think Rocky is fun, like entertaining for TV, but god, I would hate to be around him.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But we're not around these guys. We're just
Right.
gonna be.
This is what we're basing it off of.
Yeah.
What I think because I was watching like I don't remember what the video was exactly. It might have just been like cringeworthy Survivor moments or whatever. But what just ruffled my feathers about him so much was how he was yelling at Anthony for being whiny, but he was whining more about that than Anthony was whining.
Yep.
Shit was so funny. Be a man, come on, stop complaining. And I'm like, Rocky, bro, come on.
And then I forgot who it was, but someone like sits down right next to him when Rocky was like pouting about something,
Hmm.
and Rocky just like erupted on him. Like he was like, "What are you, gay? Sitting next to me? Like, get the hell away from me!" And I just thought that was funny.
Was Rocky the one where someone was reading tree mail and he just walks around in the background naked?
Yes,
I couldn't tell
he
if that
did
was him
some
or
naked
Shane.
walking. I think they both have.
Probably. Well, Shane needed his penis examined,
I feel like we'll get to Shane eventually.
I'm sure. Jay, you're up.
All right. So my number 9 pick is also another pre-merge boot. This is the person I have at number 9 is Michaela Wingle from South Pacific. And I picked her because I feel like she's someone that came into the game that season particularly that had a lot of potential and could have gone far, but she got voted out for probably the dumbest reason I've ever seen, and that's just because she made Brandon Hance uncomfortable because he wanted to be quote unquote loyal to his wife. So I feel like we got robbed from seeing a very strong performance from someone, and I think she deserves a second chance.
Man, yeah, I could see the return of the whore of Babylon.
I was just gonna say the only thing I remember her for is Brandon thinking he was gonna cheat on his wife because she was in the game.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, Brandon.
Imagine literally being voted out because someone else is like scared of cheating on their wife with you. That's so stupid.
Brandon,
That's
Brandon,
Yeah.
buddy, just a heads up. If you're afraid that you're gonna cheat on your wife with some other lady, that's not her fault.
Exactly.
That's kind of on you, bro.
And then she actually was on the second chance ballot for the original season. So I mean, there's definitely got to be some she's definitely available to come back. I think.
Right. Wait,
Yeah.
she was?
Yeah, she was.
But she didn't make it to like the last batch, did she?
No, she was. She was in the people you could vote for, but she didn't make it on the season.
So she was at the Worlds Apart like reunion show as part of that. I don't even
Yeah.
remember that.
No,
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
no,
I know. I'll fact check this right now.
because I don't think that's right.
I promise you she was.
All right, hold on, I got it. Let me just pull up the. Should be on the Survivor fan page. Let's see.
Yeah, Survivor Wiki says she was second chance vote results. She didn't make it.
What?
No.
Yes.
Hold on.
Interesting.
This doesn't seem right.
You can check Survivor Wiki, man.
Hold the hell on. All right. Yeah, here's the cast reveal. I don't remember. Oh no, wait. Was she sitting next to Wentworth? I think.
I mean, I don't remember who she was sitting next to, but she was on
You remember who she was sitting next to, but not the fact that she was there.
No. Because I'm trying to think. Because there was like this group who was sitting by Wentworth that got completely like. Okay, now that I'm seeing that Nat 10 was on the ballot, maybe I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
Oh man, just looking at this Cambodia thing, made me remember another pick that I should have picked, but that's okay. Yep, wait, Yep, she was. Okay, I'm a fool.
Yeah.
I'm a fool.
I mean,
I'm a fool.
personally, I don't need to see Michaela again, but I feel like she would do well if she came back.
I think
Yeah.
the pre-merge of South Pacific is pretty solid, except for Eve, and I guess Papa Bear.
I love Stacy.
Yeah, Stacy's great. Christine is great.
Yep.
Uh,
Benjamin
Benjamin, good old Benjamin.
never fails to.
Yeah. Okay,
Kyle,
Michaela.
you next?
Yeah, I'll go next. My number 9 is I don't really have a lot. I don't really have a lot of strategic reasoning for this. I just was thinking about how cute she is, and I couldn't help but put her on my number 9 spot, which is why I put her low. Colleen from Borneo. I can't even pronounce her last name though.
Pascal.
But yeah, okay, Haskell. I think she's had a really good energy in the first season, and I don't know if she's been keeping up with the show, but I think she had a pretty good head on her shoulders, and I think if she came back, she might be able to surprise some people if she has been paying attention in the show, but I don't know if she has. I've literally heard nothing about her since Borneo. So
I will say, with Colleen, she was invited back for All Stars, and she declined because she wanted nothing to do with Survivor again. She's like completely distanced herself from it.
fair enough.
And I guess that might be part of the reason because she was so popular after the first season. Like she was like the first America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would love to see her again. I think you can bring back any Borneo contestant, and it's immediately intriguing. So,
Let's bring back Dirk. Let's see if he's still a virgin.
Hashtag bring back Dirk for season 42.
Yeah.
I'll
I don't.
post that in the Discord.
What's that?
I'll post that in the Discord.
I don't really have a lot to say about Colleen. That's just it. I think she's cool.
Yeah, she's cool. I'd be cool seeing her back.
All right.
Yeah.
Now we got Chris's number 9. Chris's number 9 is Chelsea Townsend, I believe from Island of the Idols.
I don't even know who that is.
Season, so I don't know.
I think that's what season. Unless I'm thinking of a different Chelsea.
I watched half.
No, it's
of
Chelsea Walker.
Island
Hold
of
on, who's
Idols.
Chelsea Townsend? Is that?
Was she from One World?
No, it's Chelsea
No, that's
Maisner.
Chelsea Meissner. Yeah,
Who's Chelsea Townsend? Hold on.
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Oh, she was from Ghost Island. She just never really talked. She was like an invisible character.
Oh, purple hair girl.
Yeah, she came 8th.
Chris, buddy, you're gonna have to explain that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was her. Okay. I literally had to go to Survivor Wiki to remember who that was.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really understand that pick.
I
So
wish Chris was here to defend that pick.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love to hear that.
that's all I got to say. I remember almost nothing about her.
Sorry.
I barely remember that season, honestly. I've been considering watching it again because I barely remember what happened.
Oh, speaking of Ghost Island, before we continue on, there is one person on the Ghost Island cast who I think we all know deserves to be on this list.
Oh yeah.
We already talked about him before. Do you guys have him on your list?
I don't.
I had him on my list, but I moved him off because we had that discussion.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Dominic Abate. Everyone knows he needs to come back. We got
Yeah.
it. We'll put him to the side.
We all just didn't really want to waste a spot on our list with someone we all would probably put in our top 3 to 5.
Originally, I had him on my list of kind of low, like 8 or 9, because I want other people to return more per se, but more that I feel like he's almost guaranteed to return at some point.
Probably.
Yeah.
I wanted to have my upper spots for people who I feel like are less likely to return.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
my number
so don't-
one. So
Yeah, so don't hate on us because we all want to see Dominic return.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I guess we're at number 8 now. Zach.
Back to me. All right, number 8 is we're going way back for number 8, and someone who's in a great season, but not necessarily one of the biggest characters. I'm going Burton Roberts from Pearl Islands.
The first ever double voted out.
Yes.
Exactly. I think I was rewatching some of Pearl Islands because I don't know, I was just bored the other day. I think Burton's like around the merge time. Like, Burton was awesome. He was like the star of the show. He was the one who took down Rupert between him and Fairplay. He was a god in challenges. I don't think people remember how dominant he was in every single challenge he participated in. He hardly ever lost immunity pre-merge and post-merge. And he was sneaky. He was slick. Like, he knew what he was doing. He seemed very advanced in terms of gameplay. And I just think he'd be a great person to come back, especially now, like 15 years later. It'd be cool to see how he's doing.
I could see that.
I would definitely want Burton back. I actually had him. So before I made this list, I had like a list of like 40 or so people that were like I was gonna cut, and Burton was on that list. So he's on my radar as well.
Man, y'all thought about this way more than I did. I literally just looked at the Brandsteel website. I was like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I did. I went through all the brand steals and just listed people down that I wanted to see back, and then I cut it a little bit.
Yeah, Burton could be cool. It's been a hot minute since I watched Pearl Island, so I can't say too lot about him, but I think it'd be cool.
I mean, he's overshadowed. I mean, when his tribe mates are Fairplay, Rupert, and Sandra, obviously he's not going to get the most screen time. But I think when he did, especially after Rupert was voted out, he had like a pretty big part until he went home. Yeah. He was pretty cool. I like him.
I think Rupert deserves a second chance. I've never brought him back. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know. So Jay, you're up for 8.
Yeah. So for my 8th pick, another person who was pretty dominant on their season, and that's John Mish from San Juan del Sur.
Yep.
Someone who, he was just my favorite contestant on that season. So I've pretty much been wanting him back since, and that's really all there is to it. He's just someone I really enjoyed watching. That I've always wanted to see return.
Big
and I'm pretty good at the game, so that's really
if he
it.
picks up his phone, he'll be back. Remember that? He was supposed to on the second chance ballot, and they called him, and he just didn't pick up.
Are you serious?
Yep.
That's disappointing.
Oh, I'm sure I read that fact somewhere, and then like it kind of just slipped my mind.
I think him and Jacqueline were on vacation or something.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Now he really better be on the next second chance ballot after that.
I could see it.
Yeah, no, I agree, John. He was my favorite in San Juan del Sur, and I was rooting for him the whole way, so it'd be cool seeing him back.
Same here. I liked John a lot, and then I liked Keith, and then I was like, well, I guess Natalie's all right. And then I feel like looking back on the whole season, Natalie winning was the best case scenario, but...
Yeah,
I would argue John best case scenario, but I might be biased.
To who, John?
It's a name thing.
Yeah. Fair. Well, he doesn't have the H in it, so he's the weaker John.
I mean, you're not wrong, but John is closer to John than Natalie.
Yeah. So now it's my number 8.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
my number 8 is someone who I would love to see come back, who is definitely 100% never coming back, for obvious reasons. But Kelly Kim from Island of the Idols. Uh, she was the girl who had all the controversy surrounding her.
Yeah.
So I get why she's never going to come back, but people forget that she was voted out with 2 idols in her pocket. She found 2. She found 3, I think. Like she dominated the pre-merge. She was super crafty, super smart, super fun to watch. One of my favorite confessionals in maybe all of Survivor, like from a strategic point, was because you guys haven't seen Island of the Idols, right?
I saw the pre-merge and the finale.
Okay.
I think I saw like one random episode and then the finale.
So one of my favorite confessionals was she was talking about how she wanted to keep Dean, but she knew it probably wouldn't work out. And then, like, it cuts back to her, and she goes, "Wait, hold on." And she is like silent for like 20 seconds, and she's like, "Okay, I got a new idea." And then she goes on with like this other like newly concocted plan, and I'm like, that was really cool just to watch her brain turn. I think
Yeah.
that's it. That's good TV, and that's good
Yeah, that's
storytelling.
good.
And then other things happen that season. So,
Yeah. I
get
won't
what-
speak too much on her. I won't speak too much on her because I didn't really watch the whole season. But I will say from the pre-merge, she was one of the like 3 people I do remember. So that's probably a good sign.
she was great.
From what I've heard about the season, she seemed like she was a pretty strong player. So I
She,
mean, I guess if I had to pick one person from Iowa, I'd probably pick her because she's, I probably know the most about her.
cause she found the first idol. I think she got that on Island of the Idols, and she hid it in her hair. By the way, she tied her hair in a bun and hid it in there, which was super smart. And then
Better than the buff that Sarah Lucina did in Winners at War.
nice going, Natalie.
Not Natalie, not bad.
And then she found one after she played one, like that night. And then we got to the merge camp, and she's like, "I wonder if there's an idol here." And then she just found that one, and I'm like, "Jesus, girl." So yeah, I would love to see her back. I don't see it happening, but
Yeah.
bummer. So moving right along to Chris's number 8, he put Sean Kenneth or Conniff? Kenneth?
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of.
That's
Doctor Dumbass.
what if that was his name pick?
Dr. Superpole.
You can't go wrong with Sean.
The ladies say he's got a super pole. I don't really know what he could bring to the table in Modern Survivor.
Alphabet strategy.
Yeah, alphabet strategy, sure. I can't imagine. The thing is, if he comes back, do you think he would be dumb enough to keep using the alphabet strategy, smart enough to adapt, or just, like, pandering enough to do the alphabet strategy just to be a meme?
Who knows?
Who
I
knows?
think that's probably why he wants him on his list, just to see how
What the hell would he do?
Like, what would he do in a modern season?
Yeah.
He would be the biggest fish out of water I can think of. Like, and just putting someone in the season.
He wouldn't win.
Absolutely not. He might just get dragged as a goat depending on how he plays.
I can see
Or
that.
he learned from Richard Hatch and he comes out and becomes like one of the greatest strategic players of all time.
That'd be epic. I could see him just getting Jervis, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 7,
Well-
Zach.
Speaking of Borneo, I'm going with another one, and that is Greg Bwiss, who I thought was my favorite Pagong. He was one of my favorites in season 1, and he's been asked to come back like 3 times, and every time he said no, which is sad. But I think he's just this young, goofy kid who was there to have a good time, and he made a lot of people laugh. And I think he was just a fun character, and I'd love to see him on a modern season.
Yeah, I kind of.
Who counted the chickens before they hatched?
Ooh, flying fish.
Yeah, he's fun. Yeah, he's funny. So I knew he was gonna be on someone's list. So that's kind of why I didn't put him on my list. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my honorable mentions.
Yeah, he was asked to come back for second chance, which I thought would have been really, really cool. I would have much rather seen him play than Kelly Wigglesworth, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But I get why the TV audience wanted about Wigglesworth.
Yeah.
I wanted Wigglesworth, arguably, but then
Me too.
You know,
Yeah.
screen time said no, thank you.
Yeah, that's really all I got about Greg. He's cool. He's funny. He's entertaining. He'd be
Fair
fun
enough.
to see back.
Jay?
Okay, yeah, my number 7 also comes from a season Zach mentioned earlier in his list, and that is Michelle Yee from Fiji.
Yeah.
I want to see her come back because I feel like she was in a very good position in the game, and then she got screwed by a really dumb twist. And I feel like she kind of just deserves a second chance because she basically got shafted from being in a great position. And I think she was also really entertaining too. So that's basically my argument.
Was she the
If
one
only
that... No, never mind. I'm thinking of Stacy.
all I was gonna say, the one thing that just sticks in my mind about Michelle is the rumor about her at Ponderosa. I don't know if you guys ever heard that rumor.
That
Oh, I never
sounds
did.
familiar, but I don't remember the exact one.
It's rated R,
Okay.
so I'll just leave it at that for now. If you guys want to do research, go ahead, and I'll
Wait,
tell you guys after we finish filming.
I... Okay. I'm not gonna touch that. Yeah, Michelle's cool. I didn't watch Fiji, so I don't remember her super well, but everyone talks about her as a second chance possibility, so I could
I mean,
see
she
it.
was pretty entertaining too.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely was enjoying watching her in Fiji, and then she got wrecked by, the double tribe immunity challenge at the merge.
The same
Really
the same
dumb.
twist, kind of the same twist that screwed Chris in All Stars, SOQ All Stars.
Oh,
Oh, yes, yeah.
Where
yeah.
only like half the merged tribe had to go to tribal, and she just wasn't with any of her allies.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, should be good to see back.
yeah. I don't have to talk about my number 7 because we already tackled John Minch. But that was my number
There we go.
7 as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm not gonna say much about him. I just think he was cool, and I think
Yeah.
he could be a good game player again if he. I think he could make a big growth on watching his allies as close as his enemies, because he didn't do
Yeah.
that very well. In fact, I rewatched the Do you remember the touchy subjects challenge in San Juan?
I do.
I don't remember. I know about it. Didn't like piss Jeff off or something because they like
Yeah, because they
fixed
pretty
it.
much were like rigging it so that Missy would win, and then like they already knew who they're sending to exile. Um, like they had their whole plan for the whole challenge set up, and Jeff was like, "Well, why are we even doing this?" Uh, so yeah, I think he was a little too much of like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely going to work exactly the way I envisioned," and I'm like, "No, buddy, you gotta adapt, bro." So
Yeah.
I could see him coming back and playing a better game.
Yeah.
Mr. Chris, number 7, is Jessica Lewis, the rock draw victim of MV Gen X.
Yeah, I think she definitely should return at some point. She was
Agreed.
also on my original list and that I cut before making my final list.
I mean, she said it pretty well. Like, had I just voted Hannah, she'd be sitting here. That's all it took, but she
Yeah.
moved it.
I thought she was kind of bland, so I don't really need to see her back, but I can see why.
I think she was fine. Maybe as a story, I could see her coming back and being interesting if she like takes more bold moves and stop playing it too safe to an alliance.
Yeah.
But
I remember just feeling like incredibly bad for her for getting rock drawed because she's the one that wanted to go to the rock draw the least,
yeah,
and then she threw the rock. And she has to come
you
back.
feel for her, I'm sure.
Yeah,
She has to sacrifice those demons.
John has a personal connection to her now.
Yeah.
That's fair.
As a victim of rock draws,
All right, number 6.
That's me. All right. Well, continuing my run of older players, we're going to Africa with one of my favorite early female players, Kelly Goldsmith, who I think should have 100% been on the All Stars cast, and it pains me to see that she's never come back.
Wasn't she the merge boot?
She
No.
was she was the first member of the jury.
Oh, okay.
She was the only one who stood up to the alliance of like Lex, Tom, and Ethan.
That's right.
And she flipped over to the Sambaroos to vote out Lex like at final 9. but then Brandon just didn't like Frank, so
That's right.
he flipped over to Lex's side.
Brandon
that-
subbed his own game to vote.
Yeah, pretty much. Brandon went home next.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just thought Kelly had a really good sense of humor. Her confessionals were always really like relatable. She just had like a
Yeah.
snarky personality, and she was a good narrator, and she made fun of the other contestants, which I
Mhm.
always enjoy.
Having just watched Africa recently for the first time, I definitely agree with that.
I've heard only good things about her. I haven't seen Africa all the way through though.
Yeah, she also has, which is quite interesting, one of the biggest like online fan bases.
Hmm.
Not as much anymore, but I remember like I don't know, maybe like 5 years ago, like around the time of like Worlds Apart in Cambodia, like she had one of the highest like approval ratings of all Survivor contestants, which was interesting.
They use Survivor contestant approval ratings.
Yeah, at least there used to be.
That's interesting.
Fascinating. Good for her.
Yeah, she's cool.
Jay,
That's all I got.
number
Yes.
6.
Okay, this one I think is going to be probably the most shocking pick of my list. For number 6, I put Natalie Tenorelli from Redemption Island.
Natural 10.
I wonder why.
Okay, not for that reason, although it's definitely a bump. I think Natalie Tenorelli is someone who, if she was given a second chance, could really demonstrate the growth she's had as a player. Because basically because I recently watched the finale of the FTC of Redemption Island, and she was basically just getting roasted by everyone for riding coattails. And
Hold
so
on
she's
one sec.
had 10 years to think about that. And I think if she came back, she could show a lot of growth as a player.
Keep,
You know,
keep,
kind of like how Sarah did in Game Changers.
keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of out of left field, but I think that's a player I've always felt has had a chance to grow a lot.
That is the potential for a great multi-season story arc.
Yes.
So I could agree with you on that.
All right, Zach, who do you think Kyle picked for number 6?
Who's Kyle pick? I'm trying to think of other people Kyle would want to see. I feel like he's gonna have Pete Yurkowski on somewhere. I know he's a big Philippines guy,
Oh,
so wouldn't surprise me if he had Pete on there.
I'm back.
I don't know. Oh, you're back.
Which-
Hi.
picked for number 6.
Sorry about that. I was eating a quesadilla.
Nice.
I can't blame you.
All right, I'm back. Did I miss anything?
All right.
No.
All right, cool. So we're on the next one then?
Yes.
Yeah, you're number 6.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay. I was actually looking at my list, and I think I wanted to switch it up just a little bit in the order. So I actually
Okay.
took my number 1 and swapped it with my number 6.
Wow.
Yeah. Just because I was like, you know what? I don't know. I think my number 6 is more of a unexpected contestant, so I'd like to see them at number 1 because I forgot how much I love them. But we'll go back to them later. So my now number 6, which was my number 1, is Jay Starrett from Millennials and Gen X.
Yeah, Jay was really close to making it on my list for sure.
Jay, I just think everyone during Millennials versus Gen X was like, David's gonna win, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, I don't see it. I would prefer Jay. I think Jay was like, what I really liked going into the Millennials versus Gen X finale was I was like, I'm okay with any of these people winning except maybe Brett. Like,
Yeah.
I liked Adam. I liked Ken. I was okay with David. I liked Jay and I liked Hannah. So I was like, I'm good here. And I think all of them were very entertaining. And Jay is someone who definitely should come back. I mean, he pretty much lost that last challenge because he didn't cover his fucking numbers.
Yeah.
That could have cost him. So I would love to see what happens if he comes back. I think he's very smart. I think he's a very good long-term player. I think he's very likable and entertaining. So I'd love to see that come
I
back.
feel like he's a player that will return to that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't put him on mine because I figured one or multiple of you guys would put him on yours. So, but yeah, he's definitely up there. He was one of my honorable mentions.
All right, Chris is number 6 then.
Yes.
God, I'm so unprofessional for eating during a podcast.
Yeah, come on, bro. That's what you're talking about.
Sorry. Chris's number 6 is the Madman Shane Powers
I knew someone was gonna put Shane on their list.
Mhm.
I knew he was
I
coming
have-
eventually.
I still have Shane upcoming on mine, so I won't talk much about him now. But yeah, I'm a big Shane fan.
Shane's incredibly insane. Um,
Yeah.
I don't remember the problem is, I don't remember if I watched. I don't think I've watched Panama all the way through. So everything I know about Shane is all of his crazy antics. I don't know how strategically sound he was.
He wasn't really.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But he made for really good TV. So
Oh, yeah.
We'll see
Okay.
what would happen if he ever came back. But I'd be interested in that.
Yep.
He was this close to getting back on second chance.
Yeah. Well, too bad Terry beat him out for it.
Yeah, really? Was Terry 10th?
I don't know, but I mean, out of the two Panama guys, Terry won.
Yeah. I don't know if this was ever confirmed. Does anyone ever know? Because they said that Mike was in the top 10, but then they had to take him off the ballot because he won. Do you remember who that number 11 was that ended up getting on the season?
I highly doubt they ever made that public knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
If I had to guess, it would have been Varner or Savage.
Yeah, probably.
Or Joe. No, it wasn't Joe. Yeah, Shane is a whack nut, and that'd be fun to have back. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Zach, you're up for number 5. We're halfway there.
All right, my number 5 is slightly more recent contestant compared to my other ones, and it's one of my all-time female favorites, and that is Jen Brown from Worlds Apart.
She was on my honorable
Big
mentions.
Big Jen Brown fan. I think she was funny. I think she was a pretty good player, and I think she really represented like how the audience felt about a lot of the wacky characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was kind of like the voice of the audience because she just recognized how crazy everyone in that season was.
Took the
And I
words
think-
right out of my mouth.
And I think that she was like a really good representation for the audience in that season, and she was really fun to watch.
I have been wanting Jen to return ever since Worlds Apart ended. I would love Jen to come back.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Haley got on Game Changers and not Jen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mainly because I don't think either of them are good candidates for Game Changers, but hell, why do we get fucking Sierra Dawn? I'm not going into that. That's a video for another day.
Kyle, don't open up the wound, Kyle.
Yeah, video for another day.
Why we hate the Game Changers cast. Next video.
Dude, I don't even hate the Game Changers cast. I hate the boot order and half the
Yeah.
cast, the half that made the merge.
Yeah.
Anyway, John, you're up.
So my number 5, we're going all the way back to season 15 with Jean-Robert Ballon.
He was my 11th. He was my 11th man.
You know, I don't know what it is about Jean-Robert, but he's so funny. He's so entertaining. He's a great villain. I think he's an underrated villain. And man, I just wish they'd bring this guy back. He had some great moments in China, and I think we need a second showing of Jean-Robert.
Yeah,
100%.
Maybe for Courtney's sanity, not in the season with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably
John-
not with her. Yeah.
I
John,
think,
you said it best. Like I love John Robert. I think he's a great villain. I think he's so underrated, especially in a character with so many like other big names. Like, I don't know. John Robert's awesome, and he was definitely one of the people I was considering. Yeah, he was the last person I cut from my list.
I mean, name a better strategy than purposely being lazy and then going to work the last few days so people notice you? I mean, that's pretty iconic.
honestly, that actually okay. Like
Game changer.
people can meme on that, but like that's actually like a sales tactic of underselling and over giving.
It's like a manufactured redemptive arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody bought it, so
Yeah.
because it's like the oldest sales trick in the book.
Yeah.
And because he's kind of sleazy, and I don't think anybody really liked him to begin
Yeah.
with.
So now it's my turn for number 5.
Yep.
All right, my number 5 isn't really a strategic pick, but that's fine. He's the king of Ponderosa. Just call him Sammy Sosa, Chris Noble.
Ah, yeah.
I like thoroughly enjoyed Chris Noble in Ghost Island. I think him and Dominic, and they need to be on a season together again.
Exactly.
Their
Exactly.
rivalry made, and I like this might be a hot take, they made that the merge episode of Ghost Island in my top 10 favorite episodes ever.
I can see that.
Like, just the way the episode was edited between the two of them.
Yeah.
Chris Noble just being like a strategic mad lad of literally bringing every single person in the tribe together against Dominic and Wendell and be like, let's vote Dominic and Wendell out. And they're like, who are you?
Yeah.
Um,
And then he ended up being right because Dominic and Wendell then ran the rest of the game.
Yeah, and the fact that Chris Noble had an idol that was only good for 2 tribals, knew he didn't have a vote, and knew it was going to be between him and Dominic, and knew that Dominic played his legacy advantage and still not playing his idol. Oh my god.
That's some big balls right there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Chris is an absolutely great pick. So
I would love to see Chris Noble come back. And also, like, maybe people forgot, but he was a fucking beast in challenges.
Yeah.
So I think if he gets a better footing in the merge, he could like go on a. I could see him like hitting that 5 record.
Yep.
You know, I don't know how he would with puzzles though.
You're really great.
Yeah. So now it's Chris's number 5. Chris's number 5 is the chauvinistic Meninist king Reynold Topher from Caramon.
I almost had Reynolds
Yeah.
on my list.
I love Reynolds.
I like Reynold-ish.
I feel like on Caramon, he was like the only person on the fans tribe that like had any sort of grip on the game.
Yeah.
The worst tribe of all time, you mean?
Honestly, that might be the worst tribe of all time.
There's like 2 people that are memorable in that tribe. Him and Eddie. And there's 8 people who just suck.
I mean, Shamar's kind of memorable, but that's about it.
But, you know, he quit.
Yeah.
He quit
Yeah.
or did he get medevaced?
I think he got medevaced. I
think
gotta
it was-
check now.
If I'm correct, I think it was more like the Dana situation where it was like he was sick and so he quit because of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's find out. No, it says he was evacuated on Survivor
Oh,
Weekend.
okay, yeah, because he had the eye thing. That's right.
Yes.
I like Reynolds though. I thought he was definitely the best person on that tribe, though that's not saying much. So I don't know. I didn't consider him for my list, but I think I would be fine seeing him come back.
I think he's funny.
Yeah.
Which is a big prop for being on TV.
Yeah.
Which little peek behind the curtains for me in my life. I'm working on my next audition tape for Survivor, and what I'm learning from the last few ones is I think I was focusing too much on why I would be good at the game and not why I would be good television. So that's what I'm going to focus on this next one because I think that's what they care about the most.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think we're on number 4 now, right? We're getting...
Yep.
Yeah, we're
My number
breezing through
4
this.
is, as I've already mentioned, someone who's already been said, Shane Powers, who everyone's favorite crazy man. I love Shane. I think he was the star of Panama. I think he made that season what it is. And I think Panama without Shane would be like Token Chains without Coach. I think like that's how important Shane was to that season. And I don't know if he'd still be as crazy as he was then, not in the season now, but it would be interesting to see. And I think he'd be awesome to come back.
I can see it going either way.
Yeah.
I mean, I still quote, why you gotta take everything so personal to my friends all the time.
I always like go back to your shitty apartment.
I can't scream it though on the mic because I don't want to clip it. And hurt the poor audience's sweet baby ears.
But yeah.
All right.
I think we've talked a lot about Shane, so we can move on.
Yeah, number 4, Jay.
So my number 4 comes all the way from the first season I ever watched, which was Blood versus Water. I bet you all know who this is, and that's Hayden Moss.
Yep.
Pretty much watching Blood versus Water, Hayden and Sierra were like the stars for me, at least. And obviously, we've seen Sierra come back twice now, so I really would like to see Hayden come back. So I feel like he actually played very, very solidly.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he wasn't even on the second chance ballot. You know, he wasn't on Changers. I mean, what's going on? Where is Hayden Moss? Why isn't he returning Survivor?
Fun fact about Sierra is, I don't know if you know this, by the way, her placements, every time she played, she doubled her placement.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Next time she'll get 40th.
Yeah, yeah. I love Hayden. Good old Hay Train. I think if anyone was gonna win on that side, it was gonna be him or Sierra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Look at my list. He's my number 4 as well. So I guess I'll just tackle mine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hayden Moss. Entertaining, strategically sound. Um, he dumped Kat after she didn't make the merge, so that's a power move. Um, really brutal. Hate to see it, but who would want to date a
Un-
girl that doesn't make the merge? I get it.
A game changer.
Which now that I think about it, Zach, can you really say you would date Anna? She didn't even make the merge.
oh man, you're right about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I guess I need to jump back on the Vic from Edge of Extinction bandwagon.
yeah. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, that's my number for 4 as well.
I feel like Hayden and John are on my list for very similar reasons, but like Hayden is those reasons taken to a higher level.
Hmm. Yeah.
Unpopular opinion here. I personally I don't really like Blood versus Water that much of the season. I just think it was that fun to watch, and I don't know. Hayden never really made a strong impression on me, so I don't need to see him back. I don't dislike him or anything, but he wouldn't be someone that I'd want to see back. Like, yeah,
Well, I mean, it's my first season, so obviously I'm gonna look
yeah,
back on it pretty fondly.
yep. But yeah,
That's interesting, John. That was your first season, and you're not really a Tyson fan.
I, I mean, I don't know. I just never really got into Tyson. I guess I think it's because, um, so quick fun story for those that don't know. Uh, my football coach when I was in middle school was Brad Culpepper.
yeah.
So I was basically cheering for him and Monica on Blood versus Water, and I think I kind of knew like Tyson was gonna win if Monica went to the end. So I was like really, or went to the end with him. I was really cheering for Tyson to get voted out, and I think that's kind of why I was never really much of a Tyson fan,
Fair
and that's
enough.
why I liked Sierra and Hayden so much on that season.
That makes sense.
All right. Moving on to I think Chris is number 4, right?
Yep.
Oh God, Chris. I wish you were here to talk about this one. Chrissy Hofbeck from Triple H.
Ugh,
That makes sense.
I get it,
I didn't like.
but you know what's fascinating? I remember hating her fucking guts. I'm having a hard time remembering why.
I agree.
I definitely
I didn't like her.
I didn't like her watching the season. I think retrospectively, though, I think she's someone who definitely will come back at some point.
Probably.
I think she's someone that has earned her right to come back because she did play a pretty good game. I definitely remember not liking her watching HHH.
And I don't
Yeah,
remember,
I was.
like I definitely remember why I didn't like Ryan, but
Yeah.
I don't really remember why I didn't like Chrissy.
I will say I think I didn't like Chrissy because I was firmly in Ben's camp in that season, and I saw
Yeah.
Chrissy as the biggest threat to him. So I was
Too.
like, no, come on, Ben's got to win.
Maybe
Yeah.
So that might have been part of the reason.
maybe it was frustrating for me because it was frustrating to watch Ryan just like follow her, even though like all the plans that she was setting up wasn't beneficial to his game, like pretty much at all. And it was really frustrating to watch her keep winning, like with these fucking morons. And he voted out my girl Allie, so that's rough.
I think uh, I was actually watching a Survivor video on YouTube, and it was like the top 10 like heel turns in the middle of the season, and I think Chrissy was on that list. So I think part of it was like she kind of got a little drunk with power and became kind of cutthroat,
Yeah,
or just kind of really like cocky and rub people the wrong way.
maybe that's it. Which
Yeah.
makes me re-examine my personal biases on Lucina's speech about if a woman plays that same way, they're seen as a bitch. But I don't know.
No one dislikes Kim, and she played a very manipulative and controlling game.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love Kim.
Look, I'm the least sexist person, and that's like the most sexist thing anyone probably could say. But like I don't know. I've never had a problem with that kind of dynamic, but maybe I don't know. I'm not gonna get into this anymore. So are we at our number fours now, or do we already do our? No,
Number
we already
three.
we're number three. Okay. Zach.
My number 3 is my only winner on the list, and it's someone who I would be fascinated to see come back, just because I think they're one of the greatest players of all time, and that is the winner of Survivor Thailand,
Yeah.
Brian Heidick.
Yeah.
As soon as you said you had one winner on your list, I knew it was Brian.
Completely unrealistic. He's never going to come back.
Oh yeah,
He
he'll
shouldn't
never.
come back because he's a terrible human being. But I think he was just so good his first time that it'd be interesting to see how he would do his second time.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm actually in the middle of watching Thailand right now, so I'm
Yeah.
getting to watch that firsthand.
Yeah, if Brian ever did come back, I would want to see him get like royally embarrassedly blindsided.
Yeah,
Uh,
that'd be pretty funny.
but
I think if he was playing on a season with people that knew who he was, it'd
yeah,
run him out.
Oh yeah,
But if
Oh,
people didn't know who he was, I think he could run the game.
I could see
And
it.
from what
Just that. I'm always fascinated by the fact that he was a used car salesman, and that never raised a red flag for anyone.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you know he's going to be good at the game.
I just thought of a season that could be really funny. What if they
What?
brought a tribe of 10 returnees and a tribe of 10 people who've never seen Survivor before and never say that they're a group of returnees?
That would be so funny.
That'd be so fun to watch.
I've always said I'd want a season of just people who've never seen the show before. So it's like watching season 1 again.
Sure, I think the only problem with that is a lot of people who are applying who are super fans probably get pissed off.
Yeah.
But you know. All right. Jay, number 3.
Oh, my number 3 was Jen Brown, which we have discussed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like I said, ever since World Report ended, I've been waiting to see her return. So
Gotcha.
I don't really have much else to add that Zach already said. But
All right. Back to me then.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me is one of, in my opinion, the top 3 contenders for winning Kagayan, LJ McKansas.
Okay, that's interesting.
I honestly think LJ was like, of the beauties, the one with the biggest shot to win.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think he had a lot of potential. I think he was making a lot of good moves. I think between Bring Brawn and Beauty, it was going to be either Tony Spencer or LJ. And yeah, I mean LJ got blindsided by Tony, but that shows you how good Tony is and how everyone's
good.
under his level. But yeah, LJ I think could be a pretty fun returnee. Good player, pretty good entertainer. I'd love to see him back.
Yeah.
I feel like LJ has the same energy as like a Hayden or a John.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip over Cruz's number 3 because that is Jay Starrett again. We've already talked about that. So moving right along.
Back to me.
Yeah, back to me. Number 2, and then after that we'll do honorable mentions. And then number 1.
Number 2 is my pulling back from another early season female, and that is Heidi Strobel from Survivor: The Amazon.
Yep.
And
Very athletic and smart choice.
Athletic
the
ability
Amazon,
and brains all in one.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Amazon is personally my favorite season. I have a special connection to it. I love that season. I think it's amazing. I think it's hilarious. And I just think it changed the game so much. I just think it's done so much more for Survivor than just about any other season. And it's just so fun to watch. And a lot of that is Heidi is probably my second favorite character that season after Rob.
Yeah, I think that could be fun. I don't know how well she'd perform though, but you know, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Her lack of game awareness I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. Any thoughts there, Jay?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind Heidi coming back. I mean, she didn't make the biggest impression on me when I was watching Amazon, but it's been a while since I've seen it, so
Right.
I would still support her coming back because I recognize her as the character she is. So I'm definitely not disagreeing with him at all.
That's the person I was most upset didn't come back for All Stars.
Yeah.
It was Heidi. Like really, you're gonna put Amber and Jenna Lewis in over Heidi? Come on.
Well, look what happened with Amber.
Sheehan.
Well, I get Sheehan.
Yeah, from what I've seen in Thailand so far, Xian's a pretty good character.
I've never been a big Sheehan fan. That's a story for another day.
Yeah. Our Sheehan hate video. No, I can't fit an hour of that. Number 2 for Jay.
Okay, so this one is the only winner I have on my list. And if you know me, you probably know who this winner is, but that is my man, Mike Holloway.
Yep.
Worlds Apart. Very simple. He's one of my 5 favorite players of all time. His story, his faith, his character, everything. I love it about him. And if there's one winner that has to come back that hasn't yet, it's got to be him. I really just want.
Todd, yeah.
I'd rather see him over Todd. Sorry, Kyle.
No, I see it. Mike was my favorite winner to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of it. I don't know. I guess I just kind of really identify with his story and stuff, which is why I think I like him so much.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Worlds Apart as a season is a lot worse if Mike doesn't win.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There's another season that's like that, and I can't think about the top of my head, but it's one of those seasons where if this person doesn't win, the season's trash. Like One World.
Vanuatu for me.
Vanuatu, yeah.
Too.
100%. Yeah, I love Mike Holloway. I would have put him on my list if I didn't avoid winners, but I tried to.
Mm-hmm.
I love Mike. Mike would be great.
He'd be in my top 3 winners I'd want to see back again.
Mm-hmm.
Probably second, right after Brian.
Yeah. Can't sing Mike's praises enough, so shouldn't be surprised he's this high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I love Mike, so I'm all for that. What's that?
Wish he was in Winners of War. I really do.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Does anyone know why he wasn't? Did he just turn it down, or was?
I don't know. I actually heard that they didn't even call everyone.
That's whack.
Fabio didn't even get called for Winners of War.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense from CBS's point of view.
Yeah. So I don't know why. I don't know why Mike wasn't on.
Yeah, Mike was super popular. I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, I guess all the other males were more popular, arguably, but oh well. Except Nick, but All right, number 2 for me.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
You guys are gonna make fun of me for this one, but I'm being dead ass serious, and I think Lauren O'Connell from Edge of Extinction.
I was really about to say it's Lauren.
Yeah, look, it's not just because I think she's really cute. That's part of it, but it's not all of it. I think she's actually a pretty legitimate player. I mean, she had an idol since day 2 and kept it the whole way through when she was on the bottom for most of the game.
Yeah.
That's honestly the Edge was the only thing that screwed her over, in the fact that Chris used the fact that Lauren was obsessed with Wentworth to trick her into thinking Wentworth said something, which made her fall over and play the idol on Chris, which was frustrating to watch. But I really think she was a pretty solid competitor.
Yeah.
So
yeah. From what I know about Edge, she seemed like she was pretty good that season.
She was.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was one of my favorites that season, so I'm right with you.
And again, not because she's really cute. I just think she was a pretty good player, and I think it could be entertaining to watch her again.
Agreed.
All right, Chris, your number 2 buddy is Smash Brothers gaming legend Ken Huang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ken's great.
I'm shocked I haven't seen that on John's list yet.
Yeah. Unless that's his number 1.
Guess you're gonna find out soon.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Kenny's great. I think it's been a while since I've seen Gabon, but he was definitely an entertaining character. Played pretty well. Had a pretty good shot of winning, and yeah.
Gabon's an interesting season because it felt like nobody was really a good player that season, at least from the audience perspective.
Yeah.
It just seemed like nobody was really playing a great strategic
I feel
game.
like Ken was playing the best game of them though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I think Ken was I didn't think Ken was a great player, but it was funny because he was still playing the best strategic game. At least that's how I saw it.
I can see it.
But I'd love to see Ken again. I think Gabon is criminally underrated.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to see pretty much any Gabon contestant back.
Okay, honorable mentions. I'm just gonna rattle through mine real quick because I don't have a lot left. because we already talked about most of them. The other ones that I had that weren't already mentioned were Sean Rector, Elaine from Island of the Idols, Ken McNichol from MVGen X, Reed Kelly from San Juan del Sur, and Marty from Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show some love for Marty.
Yeah.
Like the only character I even like on that season.
Yeah.
Marty's awesome.
Zach, who are your
Okay.
honorable mentions?
Well, I didn't really come up with a whole list, but a couple people that I considered and didn't end up putting on was Jean Robert, as I said.
Right.
Rodney Lavoie Jr. from
Mm-hmm.
Worlds Apart. He's a big favorite of mine, as we already talked about, Dominic. And there was one more that I didn't write down that I'm forgetting right now.
That's all right.
Oh, Pete Yurkowski from Philippines.
Oh, yep.
really
Good one. I almost
I
put
really
that on my list, but then I put Jeff
Yeah.
Kent.
So yeah, those were just a couple of the ones that I thought of.
Gotcha.
My honorable mentions were Dominic. We already talked about him. This one's probably going to be some controversy, but Matt Elrod from RI, just because I really liked his story.
I'm with you. I mean,
Interesting.
Scarn's gonna hear this and start boiling in his blood, but I liked Matt.
I did. I liked Matt. He had a great story. I found it really easy to root for.
I mean, he was
Yeah,
a
he was-
dumbass strategically, but
Yeah, he was fine. I didn't
Story
have
is
a strong
better than
opinion.
strategic.
I think he had a good story.
And then my next honorable mention is the guy that got cut for Billy Garcia, and that was Cowboy.
Cowboy, that's a good one. Wasn't he the one who invented the split boat idol destroyer?
Yes.
Yep.
Mad lad.
I'm trying to remember what he had a really funny name for it, and I'm trying to remember
Voodoo.
what it was.
Yeah, the voodoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Um,
I have Chris Doherty, who's one of my favorites. If
yeah.
he had not had Winners of War yet, I would put Chris on here. I really wanted him to come back for Winners of War. And now that he wasn't, I feel like I'd still like him to return, but I feel like he has a really complete storyline.
Yeah.
Then my last honorable mention is Sean Rector.
Yep, good one. Chris only has 2 honorable mentions, aside from winners, Earl and Todd. Frosty, which is a good one, and Jen Lanzetti from Co-Wrong.
Really?
I kind of agree, because I was actually really rooting for Jen on the Braun tribe, and then she cracked her head in the second tribal, and I'm like, oh, well.
I will say, if I was going to mention anyone from Co-Wrong on the Bronze tribe, I would say Alicia Holden.
Yeah,
I can see
same.
that.
I liked Alicia. I thought she had a good story arc that never really felt complete.
Yeah. Well, probably because her boot episode was shared with Caleb's explosion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1. Take it away, Zach.
Part of me is glad that nobody put them on their list because now it means I get to talk about them more, but also it's a little disappointing that no one else is giving this player love. If any of you know me, this is the person I've used as my Brant Steele on Quiz Up almost every season, and that is Judd Surgeon from...
Why didn't I think about that?
Hold on a second. My AirPods died.
That's all right. I hear you. I still hear you.
Live in a society.
Give me a quick second.
Yeah. Feel the anticipation, audience. I'm not even going to cut this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
No, literally, as I was going through this list, I'm like, I wonder when Judd's gonna show up.
I totally didn't even think about him. So I don't even know why I didn't think about him.
All right, sorry, I'm back.
All
Can you
right,
hear me?
welcome back. Yeah.
Dude,
All right.
maybe
So,
on
yeah,
your list.
Judd Surgeon's my number 1. I just think that he was the star of Guatemala. He was funny. He was entertaining. He was just like, I don't know. He's one of probably my top 5 favorite players of all time, maybe top 3. And the way he went out with the whole scumbags thing was iconic. The ADD rant is one of my top 3 to 5 favorite tribal councils of all time. And it's just like the fact that he's never been brought back or even seemingly considered to be brought back is just blasphemy to me. He's just one of the most entertaining characters on TV I've ever come across.
I mean, I think he could, I think he could definitely come back as long as he gets his ADD checked out. I could see Judd for sure coming back.
Yeah. It's just the way he talks, like with all the dams and the mans, and he talks a million miles per second, and he's always yelling at someone or something.
Yeah.
He just, I don't know. I just felt like a golden character. in Survivor, and then the whole idol thing with where you have to look on the ground.
And then he's looking up at the trees.
He's
Interesting.
looking up at the trees. Yeah, I don't know. He's just someone I feel like the number one player I would want us to come back, and I would be overly overjoyed if he did come back.
I mean, I haven't seen Guatemala, but from what I know, Judd's a pretty great character, so it makes sense.
Yeah. All right, Jay, number 1.
Chris kind of took my time here, but my number 1 was Ken Hong.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hey, listen, he's a professional Smash Bros. Player. I could not put him on this list.
Fair.
Easily my favorite in Gabon. I mean, was playing the best strategic game out there. I mean, you bring this guy back, I feel like we're gonna get a pretty good strategic player. I think he gonna put the Ken combo on a couple of those contestants out there. I think it's a real shame he's never come back.
And then maybe Sugar will finally cuddle with him.
Maybe Sugar won't get him voted out this time.
Yeah. No, that's a good choice. Ken's good.
So my number 1, if we don't have anything else to say about Ken, because I think we already talked about him a bit. My number 1 is, I want you to take a guess. Who do you think my number 1 would be? Because you're never gonna guess it.
I have no idea. I can't even.
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
My number 1 is going to be revealed in the next step. No, I'm kidding. No, my number 1 is Devin Pinto from HHH.
Oh yeah, I was hungry.
And
really?
I want to explain why. For a couple reasons. One, I think he was criminally underrated strategically. He was one of the leading forces in the JP blind side. From there on, he was playing really solidly. He was acting. I don't know if it was him acting like a dumbass at times, with how it was, whoa, that was crazy. But I think he was playing a pretty freaking solid game. And the part that absolutely won me over with Devin was the mic vote out. The fact that he was the only one who was like, okay, Ben might have another idol. I need to make sure I'm safe. And placing that one vote on Mike, which caused the tie, I was like, that one sole move at that late in the game, had Ben not won, I wanted Devin to win. I don't know. I think he's criminally underrated. But that could just be me.
I agree.
I agree. I think that Devin.
Go for it, John.
I think Devin's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I would love to see him back. I think was he playing dumb that season?
I
Because
think
it really
so.
felt like he was. And I always think I've had admiration for that strategy. I think that's always a good way to go about things.
The only problem with that strategy is you really gotta present at the end, otherwise people won't buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Chris's number 1 has also been taken. It was Michelle Yee.
Really?
So.
Really?
Yeah.
He took my number 1, so I took his number 1.
So yeah, I guess that's it. That's our top 10 players who should return for another second chance season. I'm probably gonna, while I'm editing this, I don't know when I'm gonna have this up because we have some other behind the scenes stuff to be worked out. So it might be a little bit before this gets uploaded, but I might just end up putting their picture on the screen so that you can easily keep track of who we're talking about. Though, from a selfish point of view, that would also make it very easy for people to just skim across and just see the pictures. But don't do that.
Actually listen to us.
Yeah. Also, you won't know who's picking who. So.
Yeah. Not like we use the same pattern.
Well, if they made it this far, they already heard it. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know your top 10 in the comments. And be sure to leave more suggestions. Leave a like, leave a share. Leave a comment. Leave a Sia. I don't know. I'm tired.
Donate to our.
Donate to our OnlyFans. That's all I got. So thank you guys again for watching. See you on the next video.
Peace
All
out,
right.
guys.
Bye, everyone.